Hey there, it's Lenny McGill with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop here in the amazing Nashville studios. I invite you to come down to Nashville and check it out. But today I've got something really cool to show you. You know, our M1X is probably one of the hottest things in the entire gun industry. Really, seriously. We've had such great success with it and so many positive reviews. And it gets better and better because today I'm going to introduce you to two new colors. All right, so you know we introduced it in black, of course. Black was the original. And then a couple weeks ago, I showed you a complete build with the coyote or tan option. That's why I wore the tan vest, kind of matches. And today, we want to introduce you to the two new colors that are available for the M1X. It is the green, say battlefield green, and gray, which are really, really cool and attractive. And you know, when you build them up, they look even better. Here it is in the green, and check that out. That is beautiful. The other cool thing is that it's we do have a limited supply of OD green magazines as well. But man, I'm telling you what, this is a nice looking gun. And then here's the gray, and you can see it really matches up nice with the black slide. So these are some of the hottest things going. And you know, one of the concepts that we want to talk about is that the M1X concept was to build your 26 or 27 or 33 with that small little grip into a better shooter, into a better carry gun. And so I really believe this is like the ultimate in a perfect EDC gun because it gives you that full-size grip with the mini upper. So it's a small package. It's got, you know, 15 rounds. And I'm telling you what, it shoots great. It feels good. It is a better shooter than the 43X, but it is, like I said, it's basically the same profile as the 43X, just a little wider. But at the end of the day, it's a better shooter. Now, a couple things about these guns, which are really fascinating to me, is that a lot of people want to have a holster with a light. We designed the frame with a rail that is basically the same size as the rail on a 43X, so it will accept the TLR7 sub lights, the Streamlight sub lights, basically. And a lot of people do want a holster for that, and of course we make a holster for it, and we make them as fast as we can, and we sell every one we make. But we've had other manufacturers jump in with us and say, hey, we want to make a holster too. So here's a holster from our good friends at T-Rex that will accept the M1X as well as the with and without the light. So here it is with the light. You can see it goes in nice and snug. Yeah, they make a great holster. They've got the little wing that kind of pushes it back into your body. They're nice. I mean, this is a great holster. It really has great retention. Boom. And then, of course, it's also available without the light from T-Rex Arms. Boom. You can see. Nice fit, nice feel. Looks good. Allows you to get onto the gun and pull it right out, just like that. There's also another holster, too, from Superstition. And it is available with a light as well. Boom. So now, these are great holsters. They're expensive, of course, but bottom line is, if you want a holster, you're gonna, use this as your carry gun. We actually make a very inexpensive holster as well. This is ours, our $35 holster. Simple, easy, fast. So we have holsters, but we struggle to make these because we just can't make them fast enough. Now, that said, a couple things about these guns that are really interesting. The fact is, again, it takes, when you get the frame, it takes all the parts from your 26 or your 33 or your 27 and digests it right into it. And I did a full video with this tan one a couple weeks ago. And I showed how to take all the parts from your existing gun and put them into this one. One of the things that people struggle with is sometimes when they get the gun, they'll have Gen 5 lower parts, and then they'll have a Gen 3 upper. And the Gen 3 upper slide won't fit onto it because of the slide cover plate. Everything else is the same, but the slide cover plate is different. So let me demonstrate that for you. I'm going to go ahead. This is the 27 that I built the other day, 40 caliber on the M1X Coyote frame. And when I take this off, I'm going to show you the difference between the Gen 3 slide cover plate and the Gen 5 slide cover plate. Okay, and the installation and disassembly of this is really easy. Okay, so basically there's two slides here, and you can actually see the difference when you look at it. It's really just this one notch that interferes with the trigger housing. So the Gen 5 trigger housing is slightly different than the Gen 3, Gen 4 trigger housing. So in order to take the slide cover plate off, this is something that is fairly simple, and we've done a lot of videos for it, but I'll show you real quick here. Let's see if I can get a punch going here. All right, this is a little punch set, and what we're going to do is get underneath here, and we have in here the striker, and this would be the safety plunger. So what we want to do is we'll lift the striker up, okay? And underneath the striker is the spacer sleeve. Spacer sleeve is spring-loaded, which means that it basically is pushing up onto the back of the slide cover plate. Slide cover plate is captured by that spring and that spacer sleeve that's pushing up on it. So I need to remove that by releasing the spring pressure. So I push down on the spring, and now I can just thumb that straight off, keeping my thumb on top there so nothing flies out. All right, so boom, there it is. There's the Gen 5 slide cover plate. Okay, and now here is the Gen 3. Now what I want to demonstrate to you first is that the Gen 3 slide cover plate will not fit onto the Gen 5 trigger housing. It's going to come back and it's going to get locked up here. Not going to fit on there, right? Okay, and you'll see what's happening is binding up on that particular notch. All right, so if I go ahead and remove that slide cover plate and I replace it with the Gen 5 slide cover plate. So here's the Gen 5. Let me just show you these before I go too much further. I'll show you the difference here. This is the Gen 3. This is the Gen 5. Notice the difference in the notch right there. Oops. It's larger. Now, you can run the Gen 5 slide cover plate on Gen 3s and Gen 4s. In fact, when we do our engraved slide cover plates, we make them all Gen 5 versions. Now, the Gen 5 is different from the Gen 6. Okay, so be aware of that. But the Gen 5 can be run on the Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the Gen 5 slide cover plate onto that original Gen 3 slide, and we're then going to put it onto the Gen 5 trigger housing. So to put this back in, I would like to kind of get it started like that, and then kind of stage it, and then go ahead and push down on the spacer sleeve. It is spring-loaded. Okay, and then take my punch and push down. And this is the EDP. That's the plunger part right there. Push that down and just push up like that. Just like that. It's very simple. That's something you could do with any kind of punch, even a ballpoint pen. But the bottom line is you'll notice now that this will go on to the Gen 5 just like that. Boom. So it's a pretty simple process, but a lot of people get hung up on that because they have a Gen 3 slide with a Gen 3 slide cover plate trying to go onto a Gen 5 trigger housing. And the simple fix is a Gen 5 slide cover plate. And nothing else has to change because they are kind of interchangeable. One other thing I did want to talk to you about as well for this, we found that a lot of people are using the Gen 5 lower parts, which is the ambidextrous slide stop lever on both sides. What we're finding is that it's probably a better idea to use a Gen 3 option or to use our modified, what we like to call our one-arm bandit, our modified Gen 5 option, so that it locks back properly. Now, on the M1X, we did put the notch in here, but you'll notice on the Gen 3 slides, they don't have the notch on the other side for the slide stop lever, the ambidextrous slide stop lever. Whereas on the Gen 5 slides, which is this one right here, you'll see there's a notch on both sides. So we have found that it's for best results to use either a Gen 3 slide stop lever with your Gen 3 slide. Or if you have a Gen 5 slide, you can use the ambidextrous one as well. Now, if you're using a Gen 5 trigger with a Gen 3 slide, you should use the one-arm bandit side, because you're going to want to have this wraparound piece on the trigger shoe so the trigger shoe doesn't move too much. You can see that when you actually put that into there, the trigger shoe goes into that, and then the trigger pin goes through. So we found that this is actually a pretty good option to give you the best action on your slide stop lever. All right, so now the key fact is that we've got some cool colors. Of course, it's available in black, right? Black was the original. The coyote or tan, beautiful color. We sold a bunch of these. People were really happy with it. And now it's available in this green, which we think is beautiful. And it's very similar to the Glock Factory BFG, right? And then, of course, now the gray, which is also very similar to the Glock Factory. But these are beautiful guns, and a lot of people are seeing that it is not only good looking, but it is probably the best concealed carry gun. It's got all the attributes that we like. It's got the perfect grip angle. It's got good texturing on it. It's got the knuckle cut and the trigger undercut. We've really done a great job on this frame. It's really next to perfect, okay? So if you're looking for a way to upgrade your 26, your 27, your 33, and you're looking for some different colors or even just plain old black, I'm gonna tell you what, the M1X is gonna be your best carry option. They look great, they feel great, and they shoot even better. And we've got lots of positive reviews just to prove that to you. I'm Lenny McGill. This, of course, is the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're in Nashville and you say, hey, I'm kind of thinking about one of those M1Xs, well, come in and shoot it. We've got the shooting range out there. You can actually, give this thing a test fire. We've got them out there in the rental range, and we want you to try it. And I think you'll be impressed with what's going on. And the real factor is, it is a complete, beautiful carry gun, small enough to carry every day, large enough to shoot really well. I'm Lenny McGill. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.